What's up, everybody? Y'all come on in. What's up, Misha? What's up, Dorothy? What's up, Nathan? What's up, Cheryl? What's up, Dolph? What's up, Brian? What's up, Sky? What's up, Lindy? Y'all come on in. What's up, Sheila? What's up, Brandon? Alright, we'll give him another minute, y'all, and we'll get started. How about that? What's up, Mav Rose? What's up, King? What's up, Alexis? All right. How about we go and get started? How about we go and get it in? The title of this lecture is called The Apocalypse. Now, finally got to this point. What is the apocalypse? You know, a lot of people talk about it, so what is it? The apocalypse means, in Greek, the revelations and unveiling and unfolding of things not previously known and which could not be known apart or before the unveiling. Or when we mean by unveiling, that means where the tablecloth of this illusionary world is snatched from your eyes and you see beyond it. What's up, Crystal? That's what we mean. So once again, what is the apocalypse? The apocalypse means in Greek the revelations and unveiling and unfolding of things not previously known and which could not be known apart or before the unveiling, or them snatching that tablecloth away from you. You see what I'm saying? That's what it means to unveil. It means to uncover. It means to realize. It means to discover what the fuck is really going on around here. You see what I'm saying? What's up, James? This you got going on here. So that is the apocalypse. That's what the energy is. So the book of Revelation is also called the book of the apocalypse. You see what I'm saying? The book of the end times. And when we say end times, it just means the cycle is ending or completing. That's what end time means. You see what I'm saying? The last days before the cycle wraps up. You see what I'm saying? The last few specks of energy that this cycle has to offer before it wraps up. You see what I'm saying? So now, what is Armageddon? Armageddon is the place and event or great infinity war where the kings of the earth under demonic archonic leadership will wage war on the forces of God, the Star Warriors / Anunnaki. You see what I'm saying? That's what they talking about with Armageddon. You see what I'm saying? Armageddon, they say it's a place, which we know the place is the astral plane. We already know that. And this place called Armageddon is a battlefield where the archonic forces clash with the solar forces, or the soul forces, or star forces, however you like to say it. And we go to war, battle with each other for rights of this particular planet. And they get this idea from, well, they got this inspiration from the Norse Ragnarok. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Ragnarok. Ragnarok is the end times in Norse mythology, which is what a lot of the Book of Revelation is inspired by. Norse mythology, Greek mythology, Sumerian and ancient Egyptian mythology, and with a touch of Persian mythology as well. See what I'm saying? So this is what you got going on. Little charisma. What you got going on. So let's go over this Ragnarok. Let me let you hear what Ragnarok is, and we're going to get deep into the Book of Revelations. How about that? Let's see here. So y'all can understand that Ragnarokian energy. And y'all gonna see a lot of similarities between Ragnarok and the Book of Revelation. Watch, see what I tell you.
Midgard was the land of the descendants of Ask and Embla, the first pair of humans created by the gods. Mankind survived with the protection of the gods, who had always shielded them from the forces of chaos. Thor, the Terminator of giants, prevented the land of men from being taken over by the Jotnar. Under the gods' protection, mankind thrived without ever forgetting to pay the proper sacrifices to the gods. These men were used to dealing with the strictness of winter and were always preparing themselves to counteract all the difficulties that a long, icy winter could subject them to. But even these men knew that the reign of the gods would not be eternal, and that the Asgardian deities would have to face the forces of evil during Ragnarok. In Midgard, the land of men, the summer was ending. It all pointed to a great harvest ahead. But a cold wind blew, and unexpected frosts devastated a great share of the crops. The tree leaves quickly acquired autumn colors and fell way before the expected period, a sign that a harsh winter was approaching. Even with their crops ruined, men tried to prepare themselves as much as they could for the impending winter. But despite that determination, they could not be ready to face the approaching nightmare. Fimbulfetur had arrived, and with it, the long winter. 3 winters would follow without any summer in between. Men and their livestock found shelter from the intense cold in their coats, in an attempt to survive without perishing before the freezing cold. The nights appeared to be longer. Every night, men feared that the sun would never rise again. Their food supplies would end, and due to hunger, they were forced to all eat egg-producing chickens and even their pets. Those who attempted to hunt an animal in the cold became easy prey for the packs of Fenrir's offspring. Men began to fight between themselves for scarce resources. Brother fought brother. Children challenged their parents. Chaos settled among men. The war axes were always drenched in blood. In Asgard, the Assyrian gods watched the signs that pointed to the ultimate quarrel between the gods and the forces of chaos. This cataclysmic event will be known as Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. After 3 virtually never-ending winters, chaos settled into the realm of men. Few managed to escape alive from the bloody anarchy that followed. The prophesied conditions for the beginning of Ragnarok had been established. 2 wolves, who claimed to be Fenrir's offspring, crossed the skies, going after the sun and moon. Hades chased the moon, and Skoll pursued the sun. The deities who embodied the 2 celestial bodies' time managed to escape the wolves for a long time, but they would not dodge Fenrir's offspring forever. That was when the wolves finally reached their prey and swallowed them. Without sun nor moon, the world fell into darkness. The end was near. Major earthquakes made by Yggdrasil, the tree of the world, trembled. The great crack and the mountains collapsed. The rock on which the mighty Fenrir wolf was bound had been shattered. The colossal wolf was finally free, and he sought revenge. Armageddon, the serpent of the world, convulsed in the waters, causing massive waves. These tsunamis leveled a few surviving coastal cities. The colossal serpent released its terrible poison, contaminating the waters. From the smallest living creatures, like the planktons, to the largest whales, they all perished intoxicated by the terrible snake. Loki, imprisoned and subjected to a dreadful torment, had his moorings broke. Like his son Fenrir, Loki only had one desire in his heart, the destruction of the Asgardian gods. The god of lies walked down to Helheim, the kingdom where the souls of those who had an unworthy death ended up. There, his daughter Hel reigned sovereign. The queen of the dead realm handed to her father the command of an army of the undead. This army included the corpses of those who had experienced a shameful death. These Nordic zombies wanted to reach the sort of glory they failed to attain when they were alive. Nidthugger, the dragon that gnaws the roots of the tree of the worlds, dug a great tunnel through which the armies of the dead would march to the land of men. Massive flames signaled that the army of Muspelheim was marching on. The giants of the flaming lands were led by Surtur, the Black. The colossal giant burned everything in his path with his flaming sword. The Jotunheimer ice giants jumped on giant ships made with human nails and sailed towards Vikrithur, the place chosen as the battleground between the gods and the forces of chaos. The doubts of Heimdall, the guardian of the gods, had been dissipated, for Ragnarok had begun. The god finally blew the Gjallarhorn, and its sound could be heard throughout the universe. This was the warning everyone dreaded. The end of the era of the Icerian gods was approaching. The great battle would begin. Heimdall's ringing horn announced that the day of the final battle had finally arrived. The forces of chaos, commanded by Loki, were eager to put an end to the reign of the Aesir gods, ready to use every available means to achieve such a goal. The Asgardian gods knew that the great battle was inevitable, and they had prepared themselves for the great day for thousands of years. The gates of Valhalla were opened, and thousands of warriors stepped out of the great hall and formed Odin's great army. This army comprised the bravest warriors who, while they were alive, died fighting bravely in the battlefields. They were taken by the Valkyries to the Hall of Valhalla, where they waited to again display all their courage while fighting alongside the gods during the Ragnarok. All the gods capable of wielding a weapon joined the fighters. The massive army of the Muspelheim giants tried to shatter the Asgardian gates. The Bifrost Bridge collapsed in the process, and part of the great army fell into the waters. The Asgardians cherished as the giants drowned in the river waters, but the gods knew that their destiny was not to hide behind the powerful walls constructed by the giant builder. Their destiny was to honorably face the forces of darkness in the open field. So Odin, on his glorious 8-legged horse, ordered the attack. The army of the gods advanced against their enemies. When their enemies clashed, the impact was so immense that it made Yggdrasil, the tree of the worlds, tremble. Thor, the champion of the gods, wanted to smash the heads of thousands of giants and was killing his enemies by the hundreds. The ice giants were led by Hyrm during the final battle, fighting Odin's ranks with great courage. Loki guided Hel's armies of living dead, composed of the dead who had experienced an unworthy death. Frey, the Vanir god, fought bravely on his golden boar, next to the Asgardians. The Valiant god attacked Surtur, the mighty leader of the Muspelheim fighter giants. Frey did his very best, but that was not enough to defeat Surtur, who killed the Vanir god with his flaming sword. Before his death, Frey regretted having given his magic sword to Skirmir, since everything could have ended differently if he had had it in his hands. Frey was the first god to crumble on the battlefield, and many others would follow him. Tyr, the warrior god who sacrificed his hand for the gods in order to trap the wolf Fenrir, also fell after facing Garm, the powerful wolf of Hel, who defended the world of the dead. However, before his death, Tyr still managed to stick his sword into the hellish beast's heart. The battlefield was shaken when Jormungandr, the serpent of the world, appeared ready to fight. The creature unleashed a mist of venomous gases that killed the warriors of the gods. After encountering the serpent, Thor felt an immense impetus because he had been waiting for the decisive battle between him and his old rival. The fight between Thor and Jormungandr was nothing short of epic. The gigantic serpent attempted to swallow the Asgardian hero as the latter dodged his strikes and counterattacked with powerful hammer blows. The god of thunder managed to hit Jormungandr, forcing it to plunge into the ground, wounded. Thor unleashed a deadly blow to the serpent's head. The Asgardian gods and warriors cherished their champion's victory. Nevertheless, Thor's strike was so strong that it shattered Jormungandr's poisoned pockets, spreading a venomous cloud around Thor. Thor dropped on his knees and fell dead, poisoned. Without his ultimate champion, the battle against the forces of chaos became even more difficult for the gods. Fenrir, the giant wolf and son of Loki, devoured all those who opposed him, but he wanted to find Odin, his mortal enemy. The supreme god of Asgard knew that his destiny was to fight the terrifying wolf, Loki's son, and he did not run away from that opportunity. Odin spurred Sleipnir and advanced against Fenrir. But Odin's destiny was not to get out of this clash alive. Fenrir opened his massive mouth and devoured the father of all. The gigantic wolf mocked the gods after his victory against Aesir's wisest. That vexation filled Vidar's heart with hate, Odin's son. His fury gave him massive strength. Vidar attacked Fenrir, and the latter tried to bite him, but Vidar stuck his feet into the wolf's tongue, and, with his strong arms, pushed his teeth away. The strength he put in was so colossal that he tore Fenrir's jaw in half. The gigantic wolf was dead. Even with his son's death, Loki felt satisfied with the carnage while watching the fall of the gods, one after the other. Heimdall, the guardian of the Rainbow Ridge, advanced between the army of the dead of Hell, making his way to Loki. Heimdall and Loki dueled, and the plasticity of the quarrel made it look like a deadly dance. Loki and Heimdall hit each other several times. The duel did not have a winner, and both died. The giant Surtur burned the world with his sword. The flames took over everything. There were no fighters on the side of the living, nor on the side of the dead. Only ashes remained. The flames reached Asgard, and the palaces were consumed by rivers of fire. The water level of the oceans rose to form a major flood. There was nothing else on Earth. The age of the Aesir gods was over. The waters that swept the earth receded, and in the earth that emerged after the flood, plants started to blossom again. A new sun emerged and put an end to the darkness that had taken over the earth. The Yggdrasil tree did not withstand the damage during the Ragnarok and fell, but inside the great ash tree, a secret surprise was concealed. The gods had hidden a couple of mortal beings so that the human race could resist the events of Ragnarok. The world would be repopulated again thanks to the love of this couple. The Asgardian kingdom had disappeared, but a new kingdom called Ithvalor would take its place. 6 gods took their seats in Ithvalor, the sons of Odin. Vidar, who killed Fenrir, and his brother Vali were there. The sons of Thor, Magni, and Lothi carried the god of thunder's hammer, standing for this new kingdom. Balder, the most beloved of the gods, emerged from the world of the dead, who, together with Hother, rose to take the last seats. There, they remembered the old traditions and discussed the future, trying not to repeat the mistakes of the past. The gods found the golden chess pieces used in the gods' games, and just like their parents, they began a new round of the ancestral game. A new cycle was beginning.
Well, there y'all go. That's Ragnarok. That's Ragnarok. As you can see, shit got real. War broke out. That's probably next to the Book of Revelation. That's probably the baddest end time story on the planet. Right. And actually, it's badder than the Book of Revelations because the Book of Revelation has been tampered with, but the story of Ragnarok holds true. See what I'm saying? Them guys, the guys of this time, the Marcons, had to go to war with the old guys, our ancestors, and they battled and went to war with each other, but everything balanced out. You know, the skill, the destruction balanced out, and the frequencies. And what ultimately happened was after the motherfuckers destroyed each other, then we all moved to a new world, right? Of course, we already know that. You know, they kind of like just they gave you a balanced storyline instead of telling you that the Star Seeds won. You see, the Star Wars actually end up winning. See what I'm saying? The Anunnaki gods and everybody end up winning on their side, and the Archons be defeated and thrown. And the ones that live, they get thrown into a new version of Tartarus that's designed specifically for them. They call it Chaos, but yeah, that's a new version right there. What's up, Anna? What's up, Ty? So yeah. So let us continue here. Let us continue here. Now, let's get into the actual Book of Revelation. I'm just going to go over the main points of each chapter, and we'll break it all down, and then we'll go in. How about that? Chapter 1. You see what I'm saying? Chapter 1, the prologue. They telling you in this story about Jesus Christ. But let's clear some things about Jesus Christ. Everybody trying to figure out who Jesus Christ really is. Jesus Christ is Asa, or Osiris. See what I'm saying? He is not Heru. That is a death and rebirth story. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's based off the Osirian mythos. You see what I'm saying? How do we know this? Because if you look at the Osirian mythos, it's pretty much a tragedy. It's a story of this guy getting killed by his brother for sleeping with his wife that he didn't even know about. Cause he had a twin. That was his wife's twin sister. And what happens is his brother kills him and then eventually cuts him into 13 pieces. You see what I'm saying? And scatters his body all across the land. Well, the so-called Jesus story is no different. You see what I'm saying? The Jesus story is no different. Pretty much the same shit happened, just in a different way. You see what I'm saying? A more Christianized, adapted way. But it's still the Osirian mythos. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Shaquem? What's up, Portia? If you look at it, the story is about death and rebirth, death and resurrection. It's not a champion story. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy, but at the end of with a slightly happy ending, because you know the person resurrects, but he don't stay on the planet. He doesn't create change on the planet. He showed y'all some things. He died. Then he rises up into an alternate dimension, a high frequency, a high dimensional planes, or ascension, right? That's basically what happens here, right? So that's what's going on here. So they call Jesus' original name Yahshua. That's not Jesus' original name. His original name was La-Shua. You see what I'm saying? La-Shua. Why is it La instead of Yah? Well, when the invaders came into ancient Egypt, there was a particular moon god in Egypt by the name of La, L-A-H. You see what I'm saying? L-A-H. And this moon god was when they came into contact with this moon god, these invaders, they liked the name La, but they corrupted the name La into Yah. You see what I'm saying? They corrupted the name La into Yah. So there is no such thing as Yah. But that was the first time you seen Yah the Bull kind of, what's up, Malik? What's up, Jewel? That was the first time you seen Yah the Bull kind of, rear his ugly head in the story, because the ancient Egyptians, they knew about the demon urge and everybody, but they didn't give him no power. There's no deification of him. The only thing they referred to when they talked about the demon urge is they just called it the little brain, or your intellectual mind. That's the only thing they gave power to, or even referenced in their text when it comes to Yaldabaoth. You see what I'm saying? That's why you never really can find ancient Egyptian connection to Yaldabaoth, because they only referenced him as the little brain. See what I'm saying? So that's where the idea of law comes from. It comes the idea of Yah comes from. It comes from the moon god La. What does this moon god look like? He's the he the predecessor to Khonsu, the moon god Khonsu. Let me see here. Let me see, where is he? There you go. Here go the moon god La right here. This was the original moon god ancient Egypt, also known as La Jehuti, or Lord of the New Moon, or God of the New Moon, however you like to see it. Lord of the New Moon. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you got going on here. So this concept known as Yah didn't even exist in ancient Egypt. So the name Yahshua is actually Lashua. You see what I'm saying? Lashua. See what I'm saying? L-A apostrophe S-H-U-A-H. You see what I'm saying? Lashua. See what I'm saying? Because they tell you that Jesus is a solar deity. No, Jesus is not a solar deity. Jesus is a lunar deity. You see what I'm saying? He's a lunar deity. And that's why when y'all speak Jesus' name, nothing ever happens, because you think he's a solar deity. No. Goddamn, don't know lunar deity. Don't know solar deity just lay down and die like that. That's not their storyline. You see what I'm saying? A Heru archetype wouldn't do what Jesus did if he was in that situation. If Heru was in that same situation, he would have fucked some shit up. He would have fucked Rome up. You see what I'm saying? He would have told Rome, he would have slayed everything Rome had to offer. You see what I'm saying? He would have pulled over his Falcon squadron and he would have tore that shit up. Talking about some praying to this false god, Yaldabaoth of the Demiurge in Gethsemane for 3 days to goddamn nullify his punishment. Nah, he wouldn't have to deal with that. He would just went and murked these niggas and called it a day. You see what I'm saying? He wouldn't have been cutting off ears and shit like that and reattaching them because his homie was right and getting ready to murk this nigga, defending him. Peter, you see what I'm saying? Or Ptah. Nah, he put the ear back on him. Nah, it's about peace. Nah, it wouldn't have been like that for no solar guy. They would have murked these niggas and called it a day. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you got going on here. This is what you got going on with these particular the lunar deities and the solar deities. Well, a lot of people ask me, Marvin, why was Jesus so powerful? Because he was a lunar deity. Because he was a lunar deity. What was we in? We was in a moon cycle. So of course the lunar deities are going to rule during the moon cycle, and the solar deities are going to take a back seat during the moon cycle. You see what I'm saying? But now we're coming into a solar cycle. So now the solar deities are coming back out. Your Ra's, your Setmix, your Bastet, your Circus. You see what I'm saying? They coming back out now. Your Amens, your Amentex, because it's time. The solar cycle is upon us. But in the Piscean age, it was the age of Asa, Lord of the Dead. That's why everything was pretty much dead or fucked up. Or civilized mortus, dead in the eyes of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? They literally had a law for this. For this particular, they had a legal concept for how fucked up the world really was. So yeah, this is what you got going on here with this particular Jesus archetype. It's a Asa. He was Asa. You see what I'm saying? What y'all about to find out when I show y'all this video is that what we know is Christ comes from the word Karos. It's Christ, then Christos, then Chris, then Karos. Karos actually literally means the tomb in ancient Egypt. That's death energy. You see what I'm saying? And death is what? Transition. Lord of the Dead is what? Lord of souls. You see what I'm saying? Because dead means soul. Or dead is a reference to soul. It's symbolic of soul. So Lord of the souls. You see what I'm saying? And helping them transition from one plane to the next. That's what the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead was about. Ancient Egyptian Book of Souls. You know, we talked about this with the Necronomicon. You know, so this is what you got going on here. So I'm gonna let y'all listen to this video, and we're gonna continue to go in. Check it out.
And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in in the beginning with God, and the Word was made flesh, and I dwelt amongst you, full of grace and truth. I was in the world, and the world was made by me, but the world knew me not. I came unto my own, and my own received me not. I am of the tribe of Judah, and I was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel only, the descendants of Abraham.
He said he's from the tribe of Judah, meaning he was from the Ethiopians, the Cushites. Know that. That's what the tribe of Judah was, the Cushites, Ethiopians.
For spoken in the book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 13, where it says that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and servants shall they be, and they shall be afflicted for 400 years. It is clear that this 400-year prophecy is referring to the black people in the land of America. The images of Jesus that are on the walls of churches and homes throughout the world are not historically correct. History teaches you that Jesus was born in a region where the people had color. There is proof in the Bible, in the book of Revelations, chapter 1, verses 14 and 15, where it says, Jesus had hair like wool, and feet the color of burnt grass. Only black people have hair like wool, and feet the color of burnt grass. In the book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 15, it says, out of Egypt I have called my son. How could it have been possible for a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, thin-nosed, thin-lipped, pale-faced baby to have been hidden among a land of black people in Egypt? The original name for Egypt was Kemet, which means land of the blacks. Only a black baby could have been hidden in Egypt, the land of the blacks. In the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 55, and in the book of Mark, chapter 6, verse 3, it mentions the name of one of the brothers of Jesus through his mother Mary as Simon. In the book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 1, this same Simon, who was the blood brother of Jesus, is called a nigger, the Latin word for black. This is the proof that Jesus was a black man, and he that has seen me has seen the Father. So if Jesus is black, then the Father, God, is black also. Many people are awakening to the reality that Jesus is the Son of God is actually symbolic of the Son of God. This is why you celebrate Christmas on December 25th, because it is around this time during the winter solstice that the sun is born out of the death of winter in the northern hemisphere of planet Earth. In the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 16, Jesus says, I am the bright morning star. All stars are suns, so it is clear that Jesus is symbolic of the sun. However, the great hidden secret is, if Jesus is black, then the true color of the sun is black. You see, scientifically, the sun emits white light. However, white light is emitted through black body radiation, so the true color of the sun is black. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. The symbol of the black sun is an ancient occult symbol called the sun wheel, or sun cross, or solar cross. It has its origins as the Egyptian oak, down to the Hindu swastika, down to the Christian crucifix. In ancient Egypt, the word Christ comes from the word Karest, which means to bury. The body of Karest would be anointed and placed inside of a Nebal sarcophagus, only to later be resurrected. In Egypt, Karest has the Ankh. In Hinduism, Krishna has the swastika. And in Christianity, Christ has the crucifix. But all of these symbols originated with the ancient Egyptian Ankh. The Ankh is a symbol of duality. The circle atop the cross of the Ankh represents order and life. The cross at the bottom of the Ankh represents chaos and death. The Ankh symbol unites opposite powers, all that there ever was, and all that there now is, and all that there will, and can ever be. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. O ye of little faith, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The stone that the builder refused can become the cornerstone. Follow me, and let the dead bury their dead. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch. Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross, and follow me.
So there y'all go. He said some interesting things. His father melanated. I mean, if he melanated, then his father's melanated. We're going to get into that in a second. Now, Jesus Christ, or Iesous Christos also, that's how it was said in those days, originally known as Joshua, who we now know as Joshua, the original name for it, is actually El Cristo Negro. And the Piscean age was Asar's age of the crucified ones. You see what I'm saying? The Asar/Osiris story was the most popular myth even after you woke up. See what I'm saying? They will not see Jesus. They will see the Anunnaki star families in the sky, especially Nibiru. Because you Jesus, you the crucified ones. Ain't you down here dealing with this shit every day? So that makes you Jesus. You see what I'm saying? So what does El Cristo Negro look like? How about that? El Cristo Negro. Let me see here. Here we go. El Cristo Negro. The Black Christ. And his wife, Mary Magdalene. Also known as Aset. You see what I'm saying? Aset. So this is what you got going on here. So let me see here. Those are real. I know El Cristo Negro somewhere in Mexico, and Mary Magdalene somewhere in France, in one of those churches, one of their churches. Let me give you a picture of Asar and Aset, and we'll continue on. How about that? Let me see here. Asar. There you go. Here go Asar. Lord of the Dead, fertility, guide of souls, Lord of Rebirth, or transitioning to something new, transformation into something new. That's what the Jesus story is literally about, y'all. You see what I'm saying? That's literally what the Jesus story is about. And he green, actually that was one of the original colors of our melanin, and representing the vegetation, because he was also Lord of Agriculture, and that green energy is the heart chakra. Why? Why is it the heart chakra? What color is planet Earth? Green. So of course, the dominant color on Earth is green. So of course, the beings will look after their planet, after their mother, Gaia or Kaya, right? So now let's continue here. Let me see. Where's Aset? She's somewhere around here. I have a picture of by herself, do I? I had one. Oh, there she go. There you go, Aset. There you go. Also green. After that heart chakra, that heart force, that force of creative will, hue, which is very important on this planet. That's why everybody's so creative on this planet. As you're dealing with that heart intelligence, that heart chakra. See what I'm saying? You're dealing with that. So let's continue here. So that was the prologue, the introduction to Jesus. They tell you what he looked like in chapter 2. They tell you what he looked like, and then and he started to give messages to John, who was the Baphomet. A picture of the Baphomet also. That's really who John is. Anytime you see the word John, we know you're dealing with the Baphomet. And Sophia. So hold on here. All of them here. Because it's necessary. So what the Baphomet looks like. who are all in this book, by the way, interested enough because Gnosticism preceded Christianity and Hebrewism. So they all in this book. You see what I'm saying? By default. They all in this book by default. So let me see here. Let me see. There you go. Here you go to Baphomet right here. See what I'm saying? Here you go to Baphomet. The occult Christos. The occult Christos. He said Christos come from karas, which means to bury. So he dealing with those burial rituals, those souls of the dead. You see what I'm saying? Those souls of the dead and their transition. Literally, that's basically what the story of Jesus is about. He transitioned to the dead, his subconscious mind, because it also represents your the Osar also governs the subconscious and unconscious mind, where he awakens 3 days later with all power in his hands, like they said, because he activated his pineal, pituitary, and hypothalamus, which they call the three magi. You see what I'm saying? The three magi in the story, you know. And of course, here go a picture of, hold on here. Here go a picture of Sophia, which we're going to get into her later on. That's Mother Mary. That's Jesus' mother. See what I'm saying? The Virgin Mother. See what I'm saying? The Black Madonna. That's her original form, Sophia, in the Gnostic teachings. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So it's all here. It's all here. Everything we've been talking about is really all here. So now let's get into them three magi, and we'll go heavily into this book, so y'all can understand the three wise men, which is your pineal, your pituitary, and your hypothalamus gland. Y'all gotta understand them, cause when those three are activated, then that's what unleashes your higher self, your genie. You see what I'm saying? And that's when you become a magical being, once you unleash those.
We three kings of Orient are bearing gifts. We traveled so far, field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star to the mundane. We are known as the three wise men, or three kings. But the fact that the three of us appeared, then disappeared, alerts you to our existence, being an astrological one. As above, so below. It must be known that the three wise men are symbolic of the three stars of Orion's belt, which are also aligned with the three pyramids of Giza. The three stars of Orion's belt are called Al-Nadok, Al-Nalam, and Mentakar. In the nativity story, we travel from the east, following the star of Bethlehem, to the birth of the sun. Astrologically, during the winter solstice, the three stars of Orion's belt align with the star Sirius and point to the rising sun. The three wise men, or three kings, are collectively called the Magi. The word Magi is the origin of the word magician. The three wise men were master magicians, master Magi, Mr. Magu. The term magus was originally a term used to refer to a Zoroastrian priest who practiced astrological magic. This is how the Magi are said to have known of the star prophecy. The three wise men are given all names: Casper or Casper, and Indian scholar, usually depicted as an elderly man, around age 60, with a white beard. My name is Melchior, a Persian scholar, usually depicted as a middle-aged man around age 40. And my name is Balthazar, a scholar from the kingdom of Saba, which was in present-day Ethiopia and southern Arabia. I am usually depicted as a dark-skinned young man around age 20. The three wise men also represent three geographical and cultural areas. The three wise men also represent the three stages of an adult man. And these three stages also correspond to the riddle of the Sphinx. One walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 in the evening. This is why the Sphinx sits guarding the three pyramids of Giza. The gifts of the Magi are also symbolic, esoteric gifts, non-exoteric gifts. The gifts of the Magi are gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Gold is traditionally associated with kings. The gold that
we bring is the fluid from the pineal gland that flows down to the spinal cord, to the sacral plexus in the body. The sacral plexus is also known as the Holy Claustrum, or the Santa Claustrum, i.e., Santa Claus. Once the oil reaches the Holy Claustrum, it must return from which it came. Back in the cerebrum, the oil rests for roughly 3 days at the optic thalamus gland, then it returns to the pineal gland, illuminating both the thalamus and pineal glands, opening the third eye, bringing about the light of the world, the risen messiahs of Christ consciousness.
Frankincense, to offer, have I. Incense owns, the deity night. Prayer and praising, voices raising, worshiping God on high. The gift of frankincense is used for cleansing and worship.
Myrrh is mine, its bitter perfume breathes a life of gathering gloom. Sorrowing, sighing, bleeding, dying, sealed in a stone cold tomb. The gift of myrrh is used to bless the dead and to take away the dead smell.
The combination of frankincense and myrrh is used in the anointing of the head, the location where Christ lives, dies, and resurrects, Golgotha, also known as Calvary. This combination preserves a state of balance, calmness, and peace. In the vault of heaven, Osar is represented by the pineal gland. Oset is the pituitary gland, and Heru is the egg-shaped optic thalamus. These are the 3 dimensions that we, the Magi, exist in: the stars of Orion's belt, the Great Pyramids of Giza, and the human body. 3 times 3 equals 9.
The 3 gifts of the Magi, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, represent kingship, divinity, and death, respectively, which in the Hermetica represent astrology, magic, and alchemy, the 3 occult sciences. All 3 are interconnected in practice and worldview. The cosmos itself is arranged in a triple hierarchy of the material, celestial, and divine. For in the harmony of the world, things that are super-celestial must be drawn down to the celestial, and things that are celestial must be drawn down to the terrestrial. And there is one sublime, operative virtue that is diffused through all things. Thus is the mystery of the Magi, the secret key to celestial magic, astrological magic, and zodiacal magic.
So there y'all go. A little picture of the universe. Amos 5 and 8. Seek him that maketh the 7 stars and Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night, that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. So there you go. Now let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into the fun stuff here. Chapter 3. You know, chapter 2 is just a description of Jesus for the most part, and him talking to John, the Baphomet. Now, let's get into chapter 3, which is talking about the 7 churches, or the 7 generations of starseeds. The 7 lampstands are the 7 chakras and the 7 rays of light, or 7 rays of intelligence. Let's begin. The first church, Ephesians, is the blue ray children who started hitting the planet after the Civil War. The second church is Smyrna, the flower children, them your freedom fighters like the Black Panther Party, the hippies and everybody. The third church is Pergamum, which is the indigo children, that's the hip-hop generation, the neo-soul, you know, like myself. Thyatira is the crystal children, you know, those are the ones that's hitting the streets now, you know, and doing what they do, you see what I'm saying? Then you got Sardis, which is the rainbow children. The rainbow children is in middle to high school, technically, right now, middle to high school. Middle to high school. So yeah, and then you got Philadelphia, which is the diamond/silver children. Also, the rainbow and the diamond children incarnated together. You see what I'm saying? And then finally you got Laodicea, which is the golden children. They kids right now. You see what I'm saying? Anywhere from just being born to kids. So now let's get into chapter 4, which is the throne room of heaven, the throne in heaven. Now you talk about the being on the throne. It and they said he looked like Jasper / Carnelian like figure who sits on the throne. So who is this? So what does Jasper and carnelian look like? So let's start there. Let's look at the description. Let's see here. Let's get that over with. Jasper looks like this, a brownish reddish color. Carnelian looks like this, also a brownish reddish color. So you know the person is pretty much melanated, the indigenous being. So who is this being that sits on the throne? It's Anu, or Ain, or An. An is actually his original name in Sumerian. Then Anu was the Babylonian adaptation of it. Then Ain is actually, how we know is Anu is Ain is actually on the first emanation that is produced on the tree of life just above Ketha. You know, you got Ain, which is Anu, the heavenly father. Then you got Ain Sof, which is Anu again, Anu Sophia. Who is Sophia? Sophia is the soulful mother. And then finally you got Ain Sof R, which is a fusion of Anu, Sophia, and Asa, the Lord of the Dead. You see what I'm saying? Like they just showed you. What they represent? Magic, astrology, and alchemy. They just told you. See what I'm saying? They just told you. Ain represents magic. Sophia mainly deals in astrology. And the soul, and how it pertains to the soul, the law of correspondence, as the universe, so the soul, as within, so without, and as above, so below, right? She deals with those frequencies to get your soul right, the divine spark inside of you. And Ain Sof R, you know, Osiris deals with, or Osiris, y'all also know, or originally known him, he deals with what? The subconscious and unconscious mind. You see what I'm saying? The death realms, the soul realms, you know that you walk through after you drop the body, or just before you incarnate in the body. You see what I'm saying? So now, let's continue here. So, what does Anu look like? See what I'm saying? What does Anu look like? I'm just hitting the main points for each chapter. So, you know, you want to go read the book after this, or listen to the book, however you do. You at least have an idea of what you're dealing with. So, hold on here. This is the character that sits on the throne in chapter 4 of the book of Revelation. Anu, or An, or Ain. See what I'm saying? He got the scepter, the jet pillar in one hand, and then he literally got the sun of the universe and the soul, which is the soul, in the other hand. You see what I'm saying? Of course, he wearing his crown. You know, his crown chakra. You know, so master of the universe. So this what you got going on. Say you had an emerald green rainbow around him. Not a multicolored rainbow like red, yellow, green, orange. An emerald green, meaning it was an all green fucking rainbow around him. Or in other words, he had a green glow. So look at this. Look at the color. Look at the green glow around him. You see what I'm saying? Look at that green glow. Always that green, that hue, that creative force. Because that's the energy you're dealing with on this planet. You see what I'm saying? So everything will be green. You know, this is him further away. You know, this is him further away. I like him standing on that ring, the circle, which is infinity with the 4 wings. The wings always represent the angel wings always represent your ability, your soul's ability to fly. You see what I'm saying? Your soul's ability to fly. So that's who it is that's on the throne. That's who they describing. You see what I'm saying? That's who they describing here. An emerald rainbow, green rainbow has circled the throne. You see what I'm saying? This what you got going on here. So that's literally what that's literally what we talking about here. Then there are 24 elders. You know, there are 24 other seats around the throne, which houses 24 elders. Now the elder council, and they're actually the elder council of Melchizedek. Who is Melchizedek? Melchizedek is the Hebrew adaptation of Asa. Always Asa. So Jesus is actually the redeemer of the priesthood of Asa. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because we know that Jesus, according to the Gnostic teachers, Jesus didn't die on the cross. Judas died on the cross, so he became the crucified one, and Jesus became ascended. He ascended, so he healed that rift that happened in ancient Egypt once it fell and became and for the melanated patriarchal bloodline. And Norreal did it for the melanated, we're going to go in on Norreal later, for the melanated matriarchal bloodline. She did it for them. You see what I'm saying? And she had them ascend. You see what I'm saying? And she represented the priesthood of our set. See what I'm saying? Or Sophia, as y'all know in the stories. You see what I'm saying? So this is all one thing. They just coded it. They was very good at fucking coding it, but we've broken these codes. So the Elder Council of Melchizedek is actually the Elder Council of Osiris. See what I'm saying? The cosmic elders also. And these cosmic elders are Akatriel, Anaphiel, Azabuga, Bariul, Kimul, Kayil, Gagalil, Hanil, Ufil, Juhil, Metatron, Raguil, Kadesin, Raduril, Razul, Rigbil, Mahayi, Shamuil, Yanun. Now Yanun, they said, was Dr. York programmed himself into his own mythos. No, what he's saying is that seat there it represents your higher self, the energy known as your higher self. That's basically what's happening here. Then you have Shariel, then you have Yaphafil, then you have Zagzagul, then you have Sandalphon, then you have the 24th seat, which is the saints, the elder incarnated enlightened souls for the patriarch. You see what I'm saying? I'm about to go over the matriarch next. You know, so that's what the 24th seat, 24 seats deal with. You see what I'm saying? I had a wasp just flying here, so let me cut this car on the air. You know. So now, what was I? So yeah, elder incarnated enlightened souls for the males, for the order of Melchizedek. Then you got the order of Mary Magdalene, also known as the Archetype. Now, who was Mary Magdalene? The council of Mary Magdalene is the council of our sect. Just coded. You see what I'm saying? Then they're the council of female angels, which is Malika, Michaela, Uriela, Raziella, Sophia, Gabriella, Seraphina, Shekinah, Azriela, Daniela, Janella, Mariella, Rayella, Ariel, Uriel, Cassiel, Ramiel, Duma, Angela, Seraphil, Angel, Bath Cole, Daniel, and of course the elder incarnated enlightened souls for the females for the 24th seat. So the first 48, you know, the original council of 48. See what I'm saying? One is the order of Melchizedek, the other is the order of Magdalene. See what I'm saying? And one for the priesthood of Asa, the other for the priesthood of our set. You see what I'm saying? So it's nothing changed. The Hebrews just took what they wanted, changed the shit, and fuck shit up like they always do. You see what I'm saying? So the 24th seat is the elder incarnated male souls, meaning everybody who incarnated on the plane to do work as star seeds, are actually unknowingly part of the order of Melchizedek at this time, or the priesthood of Asa. And yes, you can't self-initiate yourself at this time because of the Aquarian energy. The Aquarian energy deals with knowledge of self, initiation of self, freedom of self. You see what I'm saying? And of course, the order of Magdalene, the priesthood of our set, the elder incarnated enlightened souls for the females. There's all the females or the women who incarnated on the planet as star seeds to do work, as well as they are unknowingly automatically part of the priesthood of our set. See what I'm saying? So this is what you got going on here. So basically, that's what it is. Next, we go on to the four creatures. Now, the four creatures, that's the angel with the head of a lion. He represents the element of fire. He represents the Ethiopian/Cushite civilization, and he represents the lion god of Pitamak. Next, you got the angel with the head of an ox. He represents the element earth. He represents the civilization of Nubia/Africa as you know it today, and is represented by the goddess Het Heru. Next, you got the angel with the head of an eagle, which represents Air/Amaruka, or America today, or Mu as it was originally called, which is Heru. See what I'm saying? That's why, you know, so that's the deity that presides over that energy. Then finally, you got the angel with the head of a man, which is the element water. And this represents Sumeria / the Middle East today, and it's presided over by Enki. You see what I'm saying? Enki. So those are the 4 creatures. You know, they're elements, the countries that they're connected with, and the deities that they're associated with. You know, so the 4 deities are Mac for the lion, Hiru for the ox, Heru for the ego, and Enki for the head, the angel with a head like a man. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. Next, we got chapter 5, the scroll and the lamb. Now, we went over this a little bit in one of my lectures. Yeah, I can't even remember the name of it. Yeah, I think it was the Great Gathering lecture. We went over this. We touched on this a little bit. We're gonna go in on this shit now. The lion of the tribe of Judah, Ethiopia, which is Leo, also connected to the Leo constellation, because it's the lion energy, and / the Cushites. On September 11, 2012, New Year, they opened the scroll, which they talk about in chapter 5, opening up the scroll. And the slain lamb, the crucified and persecuted indigenous people of the planet Earth, represents the Christos, to bury. You see what I'm saying? The ones who down here dealing with this, down here in Tartarus / Azkaban, dealing with this bullshit. That's the slain lamb represent. That's what it represents. They talk about the 7 spirits of God. I'm gonna need y'all to know that the 7 spirits of God are also the 7 blasphemous names on the beast, which are Ogun, Yemiya, Papalegba, Oshun, Shango, Obatala, and Oya. See what I'm saying? So next you get to chapter 6, which are the 7 seals. You know, it's probably the funnest part of the lecture here. The white horse. Who is the white horse? They say the white horse goes out and conquers. See what I'm saying? So let's get it. The white horse is actually Sagittarius, the hunter. You see what I'm saying? Because he has a bow. He's a hunter with a bow. And he was given a crown, divine consciousness, and he rode out as a conqueror bent on conquest, which was pestilence. Pestilence is what? Infections, viruses, and diseases. That's what he released. See what I'm saying? That's what he released in the system / matrix. You know, so who is Sagittarius? Hopefully I got my pictures of them. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. Sagittarius, the hunter. I did get my pictures of them. Now, it has nothing to do with these zodiacal energies being in order. It has everything to do with what they represent or their energetic associations. Like, for example, Sagittarius' associations / principles are they enjoy long distance travel, a form of conquest. They deal with matters of the higher mind. They deal with cultural pursuits and just having an overall good time or having fun, free-spirited, right? Well, that's what conquest is. He's traveling all over the world, a form of conquest, a form of conquering, a form of travel. You got to travel to conquer, obviously. And he's spreading what? Disease, viruses, and disease. Now, what are we in? We in a quarantine. Why are we in a quarantine? Because of what? COVID. See what I'm saying? See how this works? So that was the beginning of the conquest energy. But it fully unleashed during the fall equinox, which is September 21st, 2012. Fall equinox is when the seal was loosed. See what I'm saying? The effects of this. You sense a plot to destroy us by our enemies, but at the same time, you get the sense that you are conquering this paradigm. There will be signs like Trump getting COVID, that the matrix is sick and beginning to die. You also have a deep urge to stock up on resources. You also have a deep desire to meditate and work on your psychic abilities. That's what the energy deals with. Because remember, Sagittarius deals with what? Matters of the higher mind. What is your higher mind? Your crown consciousness, your universal consciousness, your divine consciousness. See what I'm saying? Even you may even go so far as to deal with cultural pursuits, and definitely tap into your psychic abilities. So, next is the red horse. Who does the red horse represent? The red horse represents Gemini, mainly the Gemini twins. See what I'm saying? Gemini / the Gemini twins, Castor and Pollux. Now, if y'all know anything about the Gemini, the astrological mythologies, Castor was a swordsman, and Pollux was a boxer, which is dealing with the martial arts, the martial energy, the art of war. See what I'm saying? Martial arts or the art of war. And what the red horse had, he had a sword. So he was literally caster. Its rider is given power to take peace from the earth and to make men slay each other. Am I right? So that's what they telling you here. So what does the Gemini look like? The Gemini twins. We got a little dope picture for them. Hold on, here they go. There you go, the Gemini twins. So that's Gemini twins. So let's continue here. Now, what's the Gemini associations? Of course, if Sagittarius is a fire sign, then Gemini is an air sign. And you know, fire deals with will, ambition, enthusiasm, inspiration, revelation, and realization. You see what I'm saying? Realization. So air deals with what? The mind, communication. You see what I'm saying? Flowing like the wind or blowing like the wind. You know, traveling, going to and fro, and it deals with a lot of things. So it also, we dealing with Gemini, it deals specifically with the interplay between the extremities, yin and yang, which represent exchange and interaction, communication, and trade. You see what I'm saying? So now, what's the effects? What's the effects of the red horse? When the extremities become unbalanced, it leads to war and rumors of war. There will be a rise in police killings, or psyops, or psyops of police killings. There will be infighting in the neighborhoods, you know, killing our neighbor. Rise in military operations, both secret and overt. Mysterious, covert militaries will begin to show up in key locations like Walmarts and Lowe's. You see what I'm saying? Y'all probably all seeing this right now. And this energy fully climax on October 20th, between the 20th and the 21st. And you'll really see it explode by Samhain, which is Halloween. You see what I'm saying? You know, that energy there. The death gate. See what I'm saying? The death gate. So next, you got the black horse. You know, the black horse is what? Libra. You see what I'm saying? Libra. Scales, keeper of the balance, also known as Mo Zibanu, also Ma'at, you know, and that deals with what? Famine. See what I'm saying? That deals with famine. So what does Libra look like? Of course, it's just a pair of scales. Libra. So now, Libra's association deals with conflict resolution, balanced judgment, the ability to see all sides, and stability. You see what I'm saying? And stability. That's what the Libran energy comes for. Now, they tell you that in the Bible, it's a quart of wheat or enough to only feed, which is a quart of wheat is literally only enough to only feed one person, for a denarius, which is a form of money, the Roman version of money, for an entire day's wages due to massive inflation. You know, so they're gonna take all your money just to get the food due to massive inflation of the system, or enough of the less nutritious barley, which is generic food or genetically modified organisms, GMOs, for let's see, for three, so that workers will struggle to feed their families. You see what I'm saying? So workers will will struggle to feed their families. Oil and wine prices will not be affected, but is treated as a precious commodity, and average workers won't be able to afford it. It also means that things that have no real value will be easy to get, but things that are considered necessities will be harder to get. See what I'm saying? That's basically what they're saying here. So now, the effects of this. What are the effects? Let's see here. Private security from the deep state has been, which is the covert version of the government, the Order of Archons, has been hired to monitor and control all food operations across the world. Notice I said the world. Soon they will put a limit on how much necessities you can buy, and they will jack up the price, so you will spend most of your money on food or necessities. You see what I'm saying? Food stores will also become a form of FEMA camps, as they will only trade you the worst of what they have to offer, barley, which is a lesser form of bread or luxury foods. See what I'm saying? True necessities. So this you got going on here with with famine. You know, they call that the collapse cycle. I was discussing this in a great gathering video. They gonna set up shop when they crash this shit. When they truly crash America, the American economy, which is actually the global economy secretly, when they collapse all this, they gonna set up shop, private security all over the place, and goddamn, they gonna monitor your ability to bottle. You see what I'm saying? And they gonna give most people, unless you got the money or the resources to get the precious food, they only gonna give you only but so much. You see what I'm saying? Only but so much. So once the system falls, this is what you're gonna be dealing with. And so you're gonna really start seeing that energy around November 21st. You see what I'm saying? November 21st, when the African energy really takes hold. You see what I'm saying? The African energy really takes hold. And you know they got Thanksgiving, so of course they're gonna fuck with you for Thanksgiving. You see what I'm saying? Thanksgiving is the most it's the time of the year where most of the food is bought, at least in America. So now they're gonna spit in your face with famine for around Thanksgiving time, because you ain't gonna be able to buy the foods you need or want, because there's gonna be a limit on what you can buy. You see what I'm saying? They already signed the order. Trump had already signed the order to, you know, deal with this. You see what I'm saying? To where you can't barter on their level. You see what I'm saying? Because he got rid of payroll tax, so they got to jack up the prices soon. So I advise y'all to get as many of your food resources as you can. I told y'all get food stamps. If you working part time right now, get you some food stamps. Go rack up. You see what I'm saying? Go rack up with the little change they give you. So you can have at least some form of storage. You need at least 3, maybe to 6 months supply of food, just in case this shit pop off. You see what I'm saying? So definitely. Next, you got the pale horse. Well, what is the pale horse? What does the pale horse represent? Represents Scorpio, of course. How do we know it's Scorpio? You know, that's hard. Well, it's not the sign of Scorpio, which is literal scorpion. It's just literally what the constellation looks like. It's objective. The constellation looks like a sickle. You see what I'm saying? It looks like a scythe. You see what I'm saying? It's a literal. It's literally what the constellation look like for Scorpio. See what I'm saying? Because death always rock with a sickle or a scythe. You see what I'm saying? So it's the sickle constellation as well, or the scythe constellation. And what does Scorpio represent? Death and rebirth, and governed by the Norse goddess Hel. Also Thanatos and Hades. Hades represent grave, and Thanatos is the Greek titan of death and rebirth. And what they were given power over 1/4 of the earth to kill by sword, famine, plague, also known as pestilence, and by the wild beasts of the earth. So the pale horse culminates all the other 3. You see what I'm saying? All the other 3. You know, it's a combination of all the other 3. But it's just because of the other 3, everybody just start getting fucked up. You know, they just start getting fucked up here. You know. So what are Scorpio's associations? Cunning, revenge, passion, perception, resourcefulness, possessiveness, psychological. Psychological thought process, a keen psychology, basically what they're saying. Prowling, determined, probing, fixed, and focused. Also known as Morgartab in Samaria, and Scorpio is also what? The creature known as the creature with the burning sting. Of course. That's why hell follows after death. Because hell or Hades, the grave, is where a lot of people going to when they die. You see what I'm saying? Where a lot of people going to when they die. The effects of the burning sting is representative of the great solar flash, which will wipe out most of society. The rest will have to deal with famine, war, plague, pestilence, and them getting bested by wild beasts of the animals of the earth, cause you'll be running to and fro, trying to do this, trying to do that. So now you gonna be thrust back into nature, and now the animals ain't so friendly. Yeah, they not so friendly now, cause they pissed off about what the fuck been going on their planet. So they know they gonna be mad once this shit really pop off. You know, once this shit really pop off, so they gonna just start attacking and eating people, because they gonna be hungry, because there ain't gonna be much food for them to eat. You see what I'm saying? This is what you got going on here. This is what you got going on. So next, this happens around December 21st/2020, the winter solstice. The merging, which is the merging of the spiritual and physical realms. You see what I'm saying? The merging of the spiritual and physical realms. So now, so this is what you got going on here. We all know that the winter solstice is what? Sagittarius/Capricorn. Capricorn is what? The goat. See what I'm saying? The goat. The Baphomet energy. So yeah. So the fifth seal deals with the cries of the saints, just a commentary between Anu and the saints, or the star seeds, which is pretty much our internal dialogue that we are having with ourselves about how fucked up this shit is and when y'all gonna judge this shit. You see what I'm saying? Both the living star seeds and the dead star seeds who came down here to witness this fuckery, but they sadly got killed in the process. You see what I'm saying? There's an internal dialogue between ourselves, asking the question every day, when's this shit gonna be destroyed? That's what chapter 5 is all about. The cries of the saints. Next, the sixth seal, the great earthquake. Let's see, the sixth seal. Let's see here. I didn't write what the sixth seal represented. Oh, yeah. Okay, that deals with the great earthquake. Gotcha, so I'm right. The great earthquake and the sun turned black, which is the eclipse. The great earthquake is actually Mother Earth vibrating so high that it's literally causing earthquakes. It's actually the great vibration. You see what I'm saying? But it manifests as an earthquake on the surface. That's her vibrating so much that this shit just shaking because of the frequencies that's being emitted from her soul force due to her ascending back to the higher realms, which is what you're experiencing right now. It's also heating up. The sun turned black, eclipse like sackcloth, made of goat Capricornian hair. The moon turned red, lunar eclipse. The firmament shatters and a pole shift takes place. I'm just basically telling y'all what it actually means. You know, it's coded in the Bible. I'm just telling y'all exactly what these meanings is. So that's what the sixth seal is. The great vibration, or when Mother Earth pretty much ushers out a vibration so strong, letting everyone know that this pole shift is now finally ready to take place. You see what I'm saying? So now, then you got the 144,000. I went over the 144,000 on multiple occasions. They're basically the holistic Jedi. The ones who actually did their internal work, their shadow work, had their Kundalini awakened, and then balanced out their demonic forces and the angelic forces inside them, the dark and the light, and became holistic androgynous beings. They are some from all 12 tribes or 13 tribes, which are the 13 gates or the 13 zodiac, who are placed all over the planet, yada 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 yada, and they will gain immortality. Those are us who shift out of here for the great conversions. You see what I'm saying? And we get new bodies, more refined versions of these. All this will be upgraded, and what's more, you'll be able to shift, not upgraded and overhaul. You see what I'm saying? Shit, y'all gonna be indigenous. If this was 3.0, then depending on where we at, the vibrations we at by the time this planet shift over is already kicking out 6th dimension, and it's sliding to the 7th dimension as we speak. we'll be kicking out those vibrational frequencies. So our vibrations be so high that these beings will get we may shift from goddamn indigenous beings 3.0 to indigenous beings 7.0 around this bitch. Yeah, we skipping about 4 dimensions here. See what I'm saying? 3 or 4 dimensions here. So this you got going on here. This you got going on here. And you're going to get your upgrades. And more importantly, you'll be able to shift into whatever the fuck you want to do. You want to be an eagle? Be an eagle. You want to be a phoenix? Be a phoenix. You want to be a motherfucking demonic samurai, a sword-wielding samurai who can't hear the fuck shit up? Be a demonic sword-wielding samurai who can't hear the fuck shit up. There you go. There you go. So that's basically what the 144,000 is. Those are us who make the full shift because we are fully conscious. And we get first dibs on the upgrades because we did the work. You see what I'm saying? We did the work. So that's what you got going on. We mean the shift. We're shifting to a new paradigm, a new earth, a new version of us. And we will be spared from the great solar flash of the planet because we were conscious and we were vibrating so high that when this great solar flash hit the planet, it will actually enhance us, not fuck us up. See what I'm saying? And of course, like Brother Wisdom said, the planetary reset, that's happening. That's happening. So everything will be reset. All this shit will be cleansed away. The whole global society, as you know it, will be wiped away in the great solar flash, and we will start over. See what I'm saying? We will start over. Then you got the 7th seal and the golden censer. Let me see here. 7th seal and the golden censer. Let me see. That's chapter. We still in chapter 5 or 6, somewhere up in there. Let me see here. Let me go over there. I think I went over there to the golden censer before. That's chapter 8. All right. When he opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven for about a half an hour. And I saw that means everything becomes quiet. Not only in heaven but on earth, because earth is part of heaven, just to let y'all know. And I saw the 7 angels who stand before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. Another angel who had the golden censer, which is like this little, it's like a little incense burner. If y'all ever seen one. He was given much incense to offer with the prayers of all the saints on the golden altar before the throne. The smoke of the incense together with the prayers of the saints went up before God from the angel's hand. Then the angel took the censer filled it with fire from the altar and hurled it on the earth. And there came peals of thunder, rumbling, flashes of lightning, and an earthquake. So that's a meteor shower. Meteor shower. Then you get into the trumpets, the 7 trumpets, and what they do. And that's when they fuck this shit up. You pretty much can intuit that yourself. 7 angels who had 7 trumpets prepared to sound them. The first angel sounded the trumpet, and there came hail, fire mixed with blood, and it was hurled down to the earth. A third of the earth was burned up, a third of the trees were burned up, and all the green grass was burned up. The second angel sounded his trumpet, and some, then like a high mountain, all ablaze, was thrown into the sea. A third of the sea turned into blood, a third of the living creatures in the sea died, and a third of the ships were destroyed. The third angel sounded his trumpet, and a great star blazing like a torch fell from the sky on a third of the rivers and on the springs of water. The name of the star is wormwood. A third of the waters turned bitter, and many people died with the waters that had become bitter. See what I'm saying? So yeah. Y'all know wormwood is Nibiru. So yeah, wormwood is Nibiru. So Nibiru is in here. They just call it wormwood. The fourth angel sounded his trumpet, and a third of the sun was struck, a third of the moon, and a third of the stars, so that a third of them turned dark, a third of the day was without light, and also a third of the night. So basically, it's the sun would be eclipsed, the moon would be eclipsed, and you won't even be able to see the stars. It'd be pitch black around this motherfucker damn near. As I watched, I heard an eagle that was flying in mid-air call out in a loud voice, "Woe, woe, trouble, trouble, trouble," to the inhabitants of the earth because of the trumpet blast about to be sounded by the other 3 angels. The 5th angel sounded his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from the sky to the earth. The star was given the key of the shaft of the abyss. When he opened the abyss, smoke rose from it like the smoke from a gigantic furnace. The sun and sky were darkened by the smoke from the abyss, and out of the smoke, locusts came down upon the earth and were given power like that of scorpions of the earth. course, we do know a whole bunch of locusts have been appearing up all over the planet, preparing. They were told not to harm the grass of the earth or any plant or tree, but only those people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads or in their forehead. The seal of God is an awakened pineal gland. The mark of the beast is a calcified pineal gland. That's all it is. No complications, right? So now, let's see here. They were not given power to kill them, but only to torture them for 5 months, and the agony they suffered was like that of the sting of a scorpion when it strikes a man. During those days, men will seek death, but will not find it. They will long to die, but death will elude them. The locusts looked like horses prepared to battle. On their heads, they wore something like crowns of gold, and their faces resembled human faces. Their hair were like women's hair, and their teeth were like lion's teeth. They had breastplates breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the thundering of many horses, and chariots rushing into battle. They had tails and stings like scorpions, and in their tails they had power to torment people for 5 months. They had as king over them the angel of the abyss, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek Apollyon. So the locusts are actually your melanin monsters also. They actually represent your melanin monsters. See what I'm saying? That's what they just described here. Your melanin monsters rising up out of the abyss. The first woe is past, 2 other woes are yet to come. The 6th angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the horns of the golden altar that is before God. It said to the 6th angel who had the trumpet, release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates, and the 4 angels who had been kept ready for this very hour and day and month and year were released to kill 1/3 of mankind. The number of the mounted troops was 200 million. I heard their number. So that they telling you right there, you have a soul army that's sitting. You know, the star seeds who were killed, and everybody else, all the ancestors who've been waiting to come back will come back. That's why the army is 200 million. The horses and riders I saw in my vision looked like this. Their breastplates were fiery red, dark blue, and yellow as sulfur. The heads of the horses resembled smoke and sulfur. 1/3 of mankind was killed by the 3 plagues of fire, smoke, and sulfur that came out of their mouths. The power of the horses was in their mouths and their tails, for their tails were like snakes having heads which they inflict injury. You see what I'm saying? So through their divine utterance, you know, this is talking about the great infinity war. You know, motherfuckers coming down, fucking shit up. Those angels and those demons, those same melanin monsters and angelic generals or super soldiers, we gonna all get together and fuck this shit up. Fuck these archons up. You see what I'm saying? Fuck these archons up and their archonic matrix. The rest of mankind that were not killed by these plagues still did not repent of their work of their hands. They did not stop worshiping demons and idols of gold, silver, bronze, stone, and wood, idols that cannot see, hear, or walk. Materialism, nor did they repent of their murders, their magic arts, their sexual immorality, or their thefts. You see what I'm saying? So they didn't repent of their murders. They didn't repent of their magical arts. You're talking about the Kabbalah cultists, still raining hexes and spells on motherfuckers to keep them asleep and dumb down, you know. And then you got you got their sexual immorality or their thefts. I mean they just to be fucking, and of course thefts and thieving, you know, stealing. Then let's see, the angel and the scroll, which is chapter 10, right? Well, the angel in and of itself is not as important. That's just the angle. He had a rainbow over his head. You know, that's just mean it was enlightened. All his chakras were activated. It had a scroll though. That's the most important thing. Then when you ate it, it tastes like truth, but when you swallowed it, it was bitter to the stomach. That represents gnosis. See what I'm saying? Esoteric knowledge. See what I'm saying? Esoteric knowledge. That's what that is. You see what I'm saying? Esoteric knowledge, knowledge of self, knowledge of the God self, wisdom of self. Any way you want to look at knowledge of the internal arts, you know, be it Tai Chi, Qigong, chakras, you know, Chi itself, the life force, the force, soul work, melanin, yada 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 yada. You see what I'm saying? That's what gnosis is. And the reason why it's built in the stomach, because you wake up and see how fucked up the world is. You see what I'm saying? You wake up and see how fucked up the world is. But it tastes good because you ever feel it. You ever grab you a book, spiritual book or a magical text, and just before you read it, you get this fire in your heart, like yes, you get really excited. That's the sweetness. But when you open the book and begin to read it, and you see what it really is, what's really going on, it becomes sour to your stomach, because now you're like, oh shit, this is what it really is. This is what it really means. Okay, that's fucked up. All right, I get it now. That's what they're talking about. The sweet and sour. You see what I'm saying? So next, let's see the 2 witnesses and the 7th trumpet. Let's see chapter 11. Let me see here. See what's going on with that one. Chapter 11. The 2 witnesses. I was given a reed like a measuring rod, and I was told, go and measure the temple of God and the altar and count the worshippers there. The temple of God is yourself, and by extension, the Starseed Nation as a whole. You see what I'm saying? But exclude the outer court, do not measure, because it has been given to the Gentiles. The Gentiles, anyone who's still asleep or in the zombified state. They will trample on the holy city for 42 months, and I will give power to my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days. Clothed in sackcloth, these are the 2 olive trees and 2 lampstands that stand before the Lord of the earth. If anyone tries to harm them, fire comes from their mouths and devours their enemies. This is how anyone who wants to harm them must die. These men have power to shut up the sky so that it will not rain during the time they are prophesying, and they have power to turn the waters into blood and to strike the earth with every kind of plague as often as they want. Meaning, there's still going to be star seeds down here trying to wake these motherfuckers up. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people still going to wake up even after this shit get fucked up. You see what I'm saying? And they're going to try to wake up the last of the people, and they're going to have powers, the same powers we have now. You see what I'm saying? But it's going to be way stronger then, because you ain't got the arcane matrix holding you back. And the beings in the arcane matrix. So let's see what happens to them. Now when they have finished their testimony, the beast that comes up from the abyss will attack them and overpower and kill them. Their bodies will lie in the street of the great city, which is figuratively called Sodom and Egypt, which is America, where also their Lord was crucified. You see what I'm saying? Notice what they said. Their bodies will lie in the street of the great city, which is figuratively called Sodom and Egypt, where also their Lord was crucified. So their Lord and Savior, or the El Cristo Negros, is us here in America. For 3.5 days, men from every people, tribe, language, and nation will gaze on their bodies and refuse them burial. The inhabitants of the earth will gloat over them and will celebrate by sending each other gifts, because these 2 prophets had tormented those who live on earth. But after the 3.5 days, a breath of life from God entered them, and they stood up on their feet, and terror struck those who saw them. And they heard a loud voice from heaven, saying to them, come up here. And they went up to heaven in a cloud while their enemies looked on. So that means even those star seeds will ascend. Who those latter day, those post-apocalyptic star seeds. How about that? At that very hour, there was a severe earthquake, and 1/10 of the city collapsed. 7,000 people were killed in the earthquake, and the survivors were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe had passed, and the third is coming soon. And then finally, you got the 7th trumpet. The 7th trumpet, or the 7th angel sounded his trumpet, and there were loud voices in heaven, which said, the kingdom and the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and his Christ. And he will reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders who were seated on their thrones before God fell on their faces and worshiped God, saying, we give thanks to you, Lord God Almighty, the one who is and who was, because you have taken your great power and have begun to reign. The nations were very angry, and your wrath has come. Time has come for judging the dead, and for rewarding your servants, the prophets, and your saints of those who reverence your name, both small and great, and for destroying those who destroy the earth. You see what I'm saying? Then God's temple is in heaven was open, and within his temple was seen the ark of his covenant. Covenant just means agreement. You see what I'm saying? And of course, the ark, the intelligence of his covenant. You know, the script. You know, because the ark is what? It's just like this. It's like a half shape. But whenever you see the arks, what they just frequencies of light. So the light of his agreement. And there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and a great hailstorm. Then you get the woman and the dragon, which is 12. In this case, in this story, the dragon is Yaldabaoth, and actually the woman is, her name is Alchemy, who is the mother of Heracles. You see what I'm saying? Or Hercules. See what I'm saying? This is the story of her giving birth to the champion energy. You see what I'm saying? To the Greek version of the champion energy, which y'all know is Hercules. You see what I'm saying? So that's who she really is. It's Alchemy. And if you know the story of Alchemy, you know she called hell, trying to give birth to motherfucking Hercules because Hera was after her ass. You see what I'm saying? But this is just a readaptation of that story. The dragon is Yaldabaoth, and the woman is the pregnant woman is Alchemy, and she pregnant with Hercules or Heracles, which was his original name. Let's see. Next is chapter 13, Beast of the Sea. We already know the Beast of the Sea is our melody monster, Abaddon, the Destroyer, which is the demonic version of Azrael, the Angel of Death. You know, it's all our shit. But it also represents the arcanic matrix on a physical level. You see what I'm saying? The 7 blasphemous names are also the 7 spirits of God, which I mentioned earlier. The 7 heads are the 7 chakras also. And of course, they represent the 7 major aspects of the matrix, which is the legislature branch of the government, the executive branch, the judicial branch / the military branch. Both of them go hand in hand. The media, which is the 4th branch of the government. Then you got Big Pharma / Monsanto. Both of them go hand in hand. Big Pharma fucks up your medicine. Monsanto fucks up your food. So they actually both go hand in hand. So that's the 5th branch of the government. The 6th branch of the government is Wall Street, or the financial district / London as well. Both of them are financial districts. Wall Street is the financial district of the West, and London is the financial district for the East. You see what I'm saying? And then finally, you got religion, world religion. Anybody who keeps you enslaved in this shit here. You know, the Catholic Church, the Pope, you know, Islam, the Imams, Judaism, the Hebrews over there, the Jesuit priests, yada, 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 the list goes on. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Next, the beast who comes out of the earth, the Baphomet, the soul, also known as the soul, working wonders through your body. And he's working wonders for, on the physical level, he's also working wonders for the big beast, who are these people who, say for example, the politicians are working wonders for the government. You see what I'm saying? The doctors are working wonders for Big Pharma. The farmers, the Monsanto farmers, are working wonders for the company known as Monsanto. The accountants and financiers are working wonders for Wall Street and London. Since then, the soldiers and the generals and admirals are working wonders for the military. The judges and the lawyers are working wonders for the judicial system. See what I'm saying? Then you got the executive branch, who are more politicians, and the legislative branch, which is the president, working wonders for the American corporation. He's the face of the American corporation. Then you got religion, which is the Pope, your imams, your monks, your Shaolin monks. They sold out. Let's see, the Jews, the rabbis, and all them motherfuckers. Your pastors. Oh, let's not forget them motherfuckers either. Let's not forget the secret societies either. Because the other half of religion is the secret society. The religion is to keep those who are sleep. But you also got to deal with those who are woke. It's always 2 sides to the same story. So now that they woke, we got trapped in secret society. So that's where your boule come from. The fraternity of Afrocentricity, the Freemasons, the Scottish Rite. You know, the list goes on of all the different groups out there the White Dragon Society over there in China. You know, shit, we go on all day. You know, the Temple of Set, the Golden Dawn, the OTO, hell. You know, we do that all day because there's so many fucking secret societies, it ain't fucking funny. And then you got QAnon and all the rest of them niggas. You know, they doing what they do, the SSP Alliance, you know, the White State, the Deep State. It's all one big entity. You see what I'm saying? So in the Matrix, it is the people who are in positions of power, who are ruled by archonic forces, power, pastors, imams, politicians, accountants, so on and so forth, secret societies, etc. Like I said. So yeah. Then chapter 14, the Lamb and 144,000. The Lamb is the Baphomet. We already talked about that. 144,000. I think they singing a song here because they happy, they free. So you know, shit, they dancing, having a fucking good time that this shit being destroyed. You know that's just represent. And if y'all want to see that scene, go and check out The Wiz. Remember at the end when they shedded their clothes and they just fucking broke out into music? Well, that's a representation of the 144,000 or the star seeds who got free from this shit when they woke up in time, shift over. That's a representation of what they're going to be doing. They're going to be dancing their motherfucking asses off as they witness the destruction of this planet, of this archonic matrix. See, they're not the planet, but the archonic matrix. Let's see here. Next, you got the three angels. Let's see, what's the three angels about? Yeah, let me see here. Let me go into that real quick. I know they usher in some type of let's see where we at. Battery life, okay. I know they usher in some woes. The Lamb and 144,000. Then I looked, and there before me was the Lamb. Okay, we already talked about that. The three angels. Then I saw another angel flying midair, and he had the eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth, to every nation, tribe, language, of people. He said in a loud voice, "Fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him who made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and the springs of water." The second angel followed and said, Fallen is Babylon the Great. Fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all the nations drink the maddening wine of her adulteries. And then a third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, "If anyone worships the beast in his image and receives his mark." Now, what is the image? Is any false image that they are propagating to you through their propaganda machine, through the media machine. It's not just Jesus or Muhammad. No, it's all that shit. It's all one thing. You see what I'm saying? Any false thing that they portraying to you through their media machines that's not of the truth and not telling you what the fuck is going on around here is the mark, is the image of the beast. You see what I'm saying? Is the image of the matrix. Basically, in other words, they're feeding you information through their devices, what they want you to know, while this world crumbles all around you. You see what I'm saying? That's basically what they're saying here. Let's see here. Let's see. If anyone worships the beast, anyone worships the beast in his image and receives his mark on the forehead or on the hand, he too will drink of the wine of God's fury, which has been poured full strength to the cup of his wrath. He will be tormented with burning sulfur. Yada 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 yada. Y'all can read that part yourself. Y'all pretty much get it. The harvest of the earth. Now, what page is there? There's also 14. I looking there before me was a white cloud, and seated on the cloud was one like a son of man with a crown of gold on his head and a sharp sickle in his hand. Then another angel, y'all already know that's Azrael, the angel of death. You see what I'm saying? It's the angel of death. And then they tell him to take your sickle and reap, because the time to reap has come, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. So he who is seated on the cloud swung his sickle over the earth, and the earth was harvested. See what I'm saying? That's them ships coming back to harvest this motherfucker. See what I'm saying? If you ain't get right, you ain't do what you need to do, you ain't proclaim your own sovereignty by doing your internal work, they're coming to see you. They're coming to harvest this shit. You guys to go. You see what I'm saying? You guys to go. So yeah. Then let's see here. We on 15. And also, the image of the beast is mythoposis, which is any false narratives and images of the matrix and its roots portrayed to you. Harvest of the earth, we talked about that. Angel with a sickle in his hands, Azrael. Angel of death, we talked about that. Angel with 7 plagues. And let's see here. I saw in heaven another great and marvelous sign, 7 angels with 7 plagues. Last, because with them God's wrath is completed. And I saw what looked like a sea of glass mixed with fire, and standing beside the sea, those who had been victorious over the beast in his image and over the number of his name. They held harps given them by God and sang the song of Moses. Yada yada. 7 bowls of God's wrath. Here we go. You know, them the 7 angels with the plagues. 7 bowls of God's wrath. Then I heard a loud voice from the temple saying to the 7 angels, go, pour out the 7 bowls of God's wrath on the earth. The first angel went and poured out his bowl on the land. Ugly and painful swords broke out on the people who had the mark of the beast and worshipped his image. The second angel poured out his bowl on the sea, and it turned to blood like that of a dead man, and every living thing in the sea died. The third angel poured out his bowl on the rivers and springs of water, and they became blood. Then I heard the angel in charge of the water say, You are just in these judgments, you who are and who were the Holy One, because you have so judged. For they have shed the blood of your saints and prophets, and you have given them blood to drink as they deserve. And I heard the altar respond, Yes, Lord God Almighty, true and just are your judgment. The fourth angel poured out his bowl on the sun, and the sun was given power to scorch people with fire. They were seared by intense heat, and they cursed the name of God, the great solar flash, who had control over these plagues, but they refused to repent and glorify him. The fifth angel poured out his bowl on the throne of the beast, and his kingdom was plunged into darkness. See what I'm saying? Y'all the bulls, baby. His shit was fucking thrown into darkness. Destroyed. Men and all their tongues in agony and cursed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, but they refused to repent of what they had done. The sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and it was water, and this water was dried up to prepare the way for the kings from the east. Then I saw 3 evil spirits that looked like frogs. They came out of the mouth of the false prophets. Of course. So these the false teachers. That's what they represent. They are spirits of demons performing miraculous signs, and they go out to the kings of the whole world to gather them for the battle on the great day of God Almighty. Behold, I come like a thief. Blessed is he who stays awake, and behold, I come like a thief in the night, as y'all know. Blessed is he who stays awake and keeps his clothes with him. His clothes keep your spirituality and soulity about you, so that he may not go naked and be shamefully exposed. You ain't caught slipping without your spirituality and soulity and chakras activated. Then they gathered the kings together to a place that in Hebrew is called Armageddon. And that's when Ragnarok pops off. That's when the 7 angel pours out his bowl into the air, and out of the temple came a loud voice from the throne saying, It is done. And there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, and a severe earthquake. No earthquake like it has ever occurred since man has been on earth. So tremendous was the earthquake vibration that the great city split into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations collapsed. God remembered Babylon the Great and gave her the cup filled with the wine. Babylon the Great is America. The wine of the fury of his wrath. Every item fled away, and the mountains could not be found. Poles shift from the sky, huge hailstones, and they cursed God on account of the plague of hell, because the plague was so terrible. Then you had the woman on the beast, which represents all the fucked up shit that they did while we was in this system over the generations. That's what the woman on the beast represents. You see what I'm saying? So let's see here. Yeah, that's what the woman on the beast. The scarlet root chakra woman is the United States Corporation, the great city who sits on top of the beast, which is the Matrix. You see what I'm saying? So that's what she represents. That's what she represents. She represents all the fuck shit that has happened since the United States Corporation has been in power since 1607. See what I'm saying? 1607, which is about 400 years now. You see what I'm saying? About 400 years. From 1607 to 2007 was about 400 years. So it's been about 413 years to be precise. So yeah, because we in 2020. So let's see here. Let's see. The fall of Babylon, self-explanatory. Let's see here. Hallelujah. That's when you just rejoice because this shit finally destroyed. Just finally fucking happy that America has finally been destroyed. You see what I'm saying? Now, here we go. The ride on the white horse. Another big question a lot of people ask. Well, let's go over it. I saw in heaven, standing open, and there before me was a white horse, whose rider is called Faithful and True. With justice he judges and make war. His eyes are like blazing fire, and on his head are many crowns. He has a name written on him that no one knows but he himself. He is dressed in a robe dipped in blood, and his name is the Word of God. The armies of heaven were following him, riding on white horses, and dressed in fine linen, white and clean. Out of his mouth comes a sharp sword with which to strike down the nations. He will rule them with an iron scepter. He treads the winepress of the fury of the wrath of God Almighty. On his robe and on his thigh he has his name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel in the sun who cried in a loud voice to all the birds flying in midair, "Come, gather together for the great supper of God, so that you may eat the flesh of kings, generals, and mighty men of horses and their riders, and the flesh of all people, free and slave, small and great." And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against the rider on the horse and his army. So the arcane forces clashed with the star forces. But the beast was captured, and with him the false prophet who had performed miraculous signs on his behalf. With these signs he had deluded those who had received the mark of the beast and worshipped his image. The two of them were thrown alive into the fiery lake of burning sulfur. The rest of them were killed with the sword that came out of the mouth of the rider on the horse, and all the birds gorged themselves on their flesh. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Who was the rider on the white horse? Like I said earlier, the rider on the white horse is actually Hercules. Yep, Hercules. Hold on here. Let me get y'all a picture. Hercules. Ain't he a ride on the white horse? Don't he got a sword? And his outfit is brown red, just like Jasper and Carnelian, right? Because then they say his robe was dipped in brown and red, and a lot of times Hercules wore what? White. So sometimes his outfit was white when he rode the white horse. This is what they talking about. This is their champion. Their champion is Hercules. You see what I'm saying? The Herculean story. How we know it's Hercules? Ride on the white horse. The white horse is actually Pegasus, by the way. That's the name of the white horse here. That's Pegasus, right? Let's see. The rider is Hercules, which is his heroic name. This no one knows. That's his heroic name. But he also has a hidden name, because Hercules is also the Greek Heracles, and his mortal name was Asgard. But he also has a hidden name called Engonasin. Engonasin. Danila. That's what that means. Danila. And the story goes that Hercules, was in a fight with some motherfuckers, and he was getting his ass kicked. So he cried out to his father Zeus in Olympus. And that's when he fully awakened to his godhood. And from that point on, he became known as Engonasin Danila, which is the story behind why Hercules, when you look at the Hercules symbol or the Hercules sign for the Herculean constellation, he kneeling. See what I'm saying? He kneeling. Which is, yeah. And so, his robe is dipped in blood because he is a celestial warrior who has overcome the 12 labors, or the 12 zodiac. You see what I'm saying? 12 zodiac. You see what I'm saying? He is a celestial warrior who has overcome the 12 labors, which is the 12 zodiac, which we all know in and of themselves are lockdown frequencies that these archons created. So there you go. That's the ride on the white horse. The Herculean energy. And I got a little video for y'all for him.
What's up? I am Big Herc, the chief representative of the Herculoids, a race of humanoid extraterrestrials extraterrestrials from the constellation of Hercules. The constellation of Hercules is located in the northern sky and is the fifth largest constellation. The constellation of Hercules is located between the Lyra and Bootes constellations. There are 15 stars in the constellation of Hercules that are known to be orbited by extrasolar planets. The star, Alpha Hercules, is called Ras Algethi, which means head of the kneeling one. Different human characteristics are the result of various extraterrestrials mixing into the human gene pool. Human beings who are very fat and obese have genes from the fat obese extraterrestrials known as the Deros. Human beings who are tall and hairy have genes from the tall hairy extraterrestrials known as the Shaggies. Human beings with long tongues have extraterrestrial reptilian DNA. However, human beings who are extremely muscular and strong are actually descendants from the Herculoid extraterrestrials from the constellation of Hercules. You regularly see human beings who have extraterrestrial Herculoid DNA in bodybuilding competitions like Mr. Olympia and in powerlifting and strongman competitions. When you go to the gym and lift weights, you are unlocking your dormant extraterrestrial Herculoid DNA. The name Hercules is actually the Roman version of the name of the Greek hero Heracles, and Heracles, in turn, was often associated with the Sumerian hero Gilgamesh. In Egyptian mythology, Cashapp was the name of an ancient ram god, whose name meant he who is over strength, and he was identified with Heracles in Greek mythology. The name Hercules can be traced back to the black African people of ancient Ethiopia and Egypt, who had conceived of a mighty savior named Pharaoh. The legendary Greek author Homer described Hercules as being black. Herodotus also wrote about Hercules as being Ethiopian and Egyptian in origin. Because of the kneeling position of the constellation of Hercules relative to the arch of the Milky Way, it is believed that the ancient Egyptians depicted this constellation through the deity named Shu, kneeling beneath the arched sky goddess named Nut. In ancient Egypt, Shu was one of the Ennead of Heliopolis, the firstborn son of the god Atum. Hercules, as either Shu, the son of Atum, or Horus, the son of Osiris, was a demigod, the son of God, known for possessing miraculous strength and prowess. The ancient Egyptian depiction of Shu holding up the celestial sky goddess Nut is actually the origin of another Greek god named Atlas, who was one of the titans who had great strength. It is often depicted holding up the celestial sphere. The Nemes, headdress of the ancient Egyptians, was symbolic of a lion's mane, and this is why Hercules is depicted wearing the skin of the Nemean lion. In ancient Egyptian mythology, Horus battles the serpent Apophis. In Greek mythology, Hercules defeats the dragon. And, celestially, the Herculoids from the constellation of Hercules battle with the reptilians from the constellation of Draco. Remember, like Mage Right, life is survival of the fittest, and only the strong survive.
So there y'all go. That's the Herculean energy. So now let's continue here. 1,000 years. We are now in the astral plane, and we deal with the 1,000-year war, or what's going to appear to Earth is the 1,000-year war, or also known as the Great Infinity War. You see what I'm saying? Then Satan, or the great dragon of old, who was Yaldabaoth, will meet his doom. The dead souls are judged according to their works, and we keep it moving. You see what I'm saying? Now you got New Jerusalem, which is Hell-rusalem. That's chapter 21. So let's see here. Futuristic societies in Jerusalem. Just to give y'all some ideas what it's gonna be like. Here go another one. Here go another one. Here go a cool one as well. Excuse me. Here go a dope one. Name of futuristic societies. That's New Jerusalem and New Jerusalem. Here go another one. I had one more I wanted to show y'all. I just like this one. Yeah, I just like this one. Just show y'all some futuristic societies, or to give y'all an idea of what the New Jerusalem is going to look like. So yeah, there go one last one. They've been showing y'all what the people of the new earth gonna look like. They're gonna be wearing futuristic attire. In their best selves, their best futuristic godlike selves. I really like this picture here. That was dope. Futuristic superheroes. Let me see here. Let me give y'all a few more. Here go a dope one. What the futuristic society is going to be looking like. Futuristic people. They're just going to be chilling. Doing what they do best, which is growing. Living and transcending to higher levels of themselves. So yeah. Let's see if I got one more here for y'all. I like that one too. Your futuristic selves. So let's continue here. The Lamb is Baphomet and his bride is Sophia. I've already showed y'all them at the beginning of the lecture, but for this case, I show them to y'all again. That's who the bride is. Baphomet is the Lamb. His bride is Sophia. Or Mcjnetwork and Armageddon. That's their name were in ancient Egypt. Here go to Baphomet. Let me get a charger here. We almost done anyway. The Baphomet. Who else? Sophia. There she go. And of course, chapter 22 talks about the rivers of life, which is the life force, and how you become immortal through it. Then they tell you Jesus come back, which is Asa, who is actually us, that star seeds coming back. They also tell you in chapter 22 that Jesus is the bright morning star. Asa is Jesus and Lucifer is Heru. That's basically what it is. You know, let's get us. Y'all done seen Asa today, but Jesus is Asa and Lucifer is Heru. He's down here at the bottom. Here you go, Heru. That's who Lucifer represents. Because actually, Heru is actually the morning star in ancient Egypt. So Lucifer is known as the morning star in the Greek and Gnostic world, right? And of course, once again, Asa is Jesus. So there we go. And they are known as the twin sons in some of the Gnostic orders who were the children of Sophia. Sophia, in some Gnostic teachings, Sophia gave birth to twin sons who was the Christ and Lucifer. The Christ is Asa, or the Karas is Asa, Jesus, and the other twin son, the morning star, is Lucifer or Heru. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. Asa, Heru, Jesus, Lucifer, which is why Darth Vader couldn't kill Luke, and Luke couldn't kill Darth Vader in Star Wars because they were father and son and brothers in arm, or the Jedi. So the Jedi. Jesus, Asa's bride, is Aset, Mary Magdalene. You see what I'm saying? Mary Magdalene. Once again, we'll give you a picture of Aset. And we're going to wrap this up. Of course, we're fighting for Mother Gaia, Earth. On my way to getting Aset. Mother Gaia. That's what we're fighting for right now. Our right is to be sovereign citizens. Let me get up here to Asa real quick. There she go. Here go Asa. Here goes a sit. My bad. A sit. Or ISIS, as y'all also know. Let's see here. Of course, I told y'all the rivers of life is the immortal life force and by extension, immortality. We learn to find the secrets of immortality through cosmic teachings and sciences. You see what I'm saying? Alchemy. So, yeah. Now, we done with Book of Revelation. I just got a few more notes and we done. All media is nothing but adaptations of the Book of Revelations or the Book of the Apocalypse. Best believe that. The Book of Revelation or Apocalypse is nothing but astrology, astronomy, metaphysics, mythology with a touch of prophecy for the most part. 2021/2013, it goes down. The world will be harvested and cleansed completely by 2021/2013. Best believe that. And finally, for the Great Convergence, from now into the Great Convergence, this is my message to y'all. Focus on seeing yourself shift to the new earth in your mind's eye, or third eye, or first eye, however you like to see it. Focus on seeing yourself shift now. See what I'm saying? Don't wait till the future. Start practicing now. So when it does happen, you won't be so shocked mentally, spiritually, and soulfully. You'll already be prepared mentally, spiritually, and soulfully when it physically happens. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. So that's the last message I had for y'all. So there y'all go. I'm going to wrap this up. I would take questions, but I ain't got it for 4%, and it's not charging. So I'm going to go on into here. I'm Marvin Jones. Y'all share this with your friends. Let them know what it is. You know, I just want to go over the apocalypse one good time for y'all. Just the entirety of it. Let y'all know what it is, what's happening. So let your people know. Let your people know what's going on over the course of the next few years. If there is a course of the next few years. This shit may end between now in March, for all we know. See what I'm saying? Now in March, for all we know. So yeah, so definitely. Y'all want to check out my other occult lectures? Hit me up at the Midnight Order. And if y'all want to donate, Cashapp me at mcjnetwork. And I'm out.